Welcome to another session on using Excel for financial calculations. In this lesson, we will calculate future values of multiple cash flows. And here is our problem. Cash flows of different amounts come to us in years 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And our question is, what is the future value of the following stream of cash flows in year 5? The rate of interest is given to us as 8%. Now let's note first that since each cash flow arrives at one point of time, each of these is a lump sum payment. We need to figure out how much each of these lump sum payments grows to by the end of year 5, and then the sum of those cash flows will give us the future value of the entire stream of cash flows. By now you know that the future value of a lump sum payment can be calculated as present value times 1 plus the annual rate of interest raised to an exponent number of years if we are compounding annually. And unless otherwise mentioned, we understand that the problem is about annual compounding. So cash flows available, these are the present values. Rate of interest available 0.08. T, the number of years that each cash flow has to grow. We need information on that, so let's fill this out. Cash flow that comes to us in year 1 had 4 years to grow. Cash flow coming in year 2 has 3 years to grow, 2 years to grow, 1 year to grow, has no time to grow at all. Now since this cash flow had no time to grow at all, its value is the initial value, so I'll just put in 2600. This cash flow had 1 year to grow, therefore its future value is, so equals the present value times 1 plus the rate of interest to an exponent of the number of years that it can grow. So $2,415 is going to grow to $2,608.20 by the end of year 5. Let's go ahead and format these cells so that we can see the cents value and also so that we see the thousand separator. So let's do that real quick before we keep going. Alright, now if you want to copy this formula to the rest of the cells, then we need to understand that the references for cash flows or the present values need to keep changing. So the cell reference for cash flow, that has to be left free and floating. F3 contains the rate of interest, that has to be fixed though, because the same rate of interest applies to every individual cash flow. So before I copy this formula, I'm going to go into the formula bar or the edit bar here and lock this cell reference by hitting the F4 key. Cell reference F9 is the number of time periods. This does need to keep changing, so I don't fix this. Hit enter, and now we can copy and paste this to the rest of our cells. So copy, and I highlight the 3 cells into which I want this pasted, and I say paste. And now we need the total future value, so I'll do a sum here. You can click on this sum, auto sum icon, and it will sum all those numbers for you. If you want to go ahead and do that, click sum. I always recommend leaving a cell blank so that you don't get confused between what was available to you and what you're calculating. You can hit sum, or equivalently observe that it writes the sum formula. You can write the sum formula as well. We're going to use the sum function, $10,256.15. We're going to round this up with future value equals $10,256.15. And that's how we calculate the future value of multiple cash flows using Excel.